Good morning, world. All right, so we're here in Australia, Penrith, Australia. I'm sitting here with Peter Kauzer, world champion in Seu d'Urgell, Spain from 2009, and had a home Olympics, or home World Championships, getting prepared for the Olympics in London. So it's an exciting time here training, and welcome. How are you feeling?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Well, I feel a little bit sleepy now, but I will wake up in the morning. We don't have coffee,
We don't have coffee, so we're going to be chatting for 15 minutes or so and sort of try and give everybody an insight into the world of Peter Kauzer. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Kelly Vanderbeek, so I'm just here to interview. So first, let's start, always start of the season. The biggest thing everybody wants to know, are you healthy? And that's always the most important thing for an athlete.
So far, everything is okay. I was injured in October. I broken my shoulder tendon, so now everything's fixed. I didn't need to go to the surgery, so it was a good thing in one way because it was straight after the season, so I could rest for a bit because these 2 years will be quite busy. Because next year it's Olympic Games in London, where I had to do better than I did in Beijing.
But since Beijing, you've had a lot of success. So, I mean, there's a lot to build on with, we'll talk a little bit more about Seu. And, I mean, you now have the title, world champion, and also European champion. So, actually, here's one of the questions. There's quite a few questions here from different fans and stuff like that from around the world, and we'll get to those. But first, we'll talk about a bit more stuff everybody might be noticing. There's a tattoo on his shoulder here, so you're gonna have to tell us about this tattoo.
Yeah, I had a minor tattoo,
which is
covered now. But my girlfriend's sister got a tattoo one lady did it, and she does pretty good cover-ups. So I just wrote her an email. Maybe she can do something about that minor tattoo. And she said, okay, here are my proposals. So I said, okay, why not? The tattoo had its meaning. So I put the date on when I become a world champion in 2009. And you probably guessed that line with the crown. It's like king of the animal. Yeah. So that's it.
There you go. And is your lioness here? Is your girlfriend here with you for this training camp?
Yeah, she's here for making me good and everything, making me food, and so I don't have to worry.
Keeping you happy. The girlfriend's here to keep you a little home life. All right. Okay, let's get into some questions from some of the fans out there. So I'll start with Mike Robert from Great Britain. He asked possibly two slightly odd questions. One, how tight are you in your boat? So we'll start with that one. How tight do you have your outfitting in your boat?
Actually, I don't like to be so tight because I move in the boat most of the time. It depends of the situation. You know, I move from the seat like forwards, backwards. I don't know why, but that's just me. So I'm not quite tight in the boat.
Do you have your legs and your feet pretty tight in there so you can really move well, or?
I'm quite loosened up. Because so I can move and there comes different situation when you have to lean under the pole or like do something in the stopper. So
well, you have a really nice feeling when you're on the water, and so I guess that gives you some of that feeling.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So the second part of his question, again from Mike Robert at Great Britain, do you have any particular reason for choosing that length of paddle? So first of all, how long is your paddle, and why that length?
My paddle is long 202 centimeters, 202 centimeters, and a little bit more. But there's no particular reason why I have this length. It's just.
Do you do much testing with different lengths and or was that sort of a while ago in your career, and then you've?
Well, yeah, I did, and at the end, 1 centimeter doesn't mean a lot. No. So basically, last season and this one, I'm using bigger blades, so it's. Some say it's good if you have, then your paddle is a little bit shorter, but I put it the same. I got used to it, so it's okay.
Yeah. So on to the next question. Nathan Fullers, again from Great Britain. How do you prevent yourself from becoming over-aroused before a race? I like the word aroused, by the way. It sounds very sexual in nature. But anyways, this is his word, not mine. So like, how do you prevent yourself from getting too excited, or do you get really excited? Do you kind of get in for a fight, or what's your like mindset when you're going into a race?
Well, I just want to be relaxed as I can be, without any pressure. I got used to that feeling over the years. You know, a lot of experience. I have one good experience. You know, at the Olympics, I thought I would be like really nervous on the start, and when I came up the escalator, it was like, oh, this is it. So this is what I've been training for. So I was like really surprised in one way. I was not nervous at all. Sadly, what happened, but you know, you can't change that. You can't change the past, but I think that was like a great, a good thing for me, because it was like a wake-up call that like in this direction it doesn't go anymore further. So probably because of that, I had last 2 seasons quite good.
Yeah. Did you find you had a different mindset in Sao or in races where, you know, if you compare the Beijing Olympics versus your mentality in the start in Sao versus your mentality at Bratislava and the European champion, all these kinds of things, have you changed? Have you evolved? Or
I think that last 2 years I don't even feel like I'm on the race. Like it doesn't matter if it's the Worlds or Europeans or World Cup. You know, it just feels like, oh, it's a race day. Okay, it is. So it's like nothing much. You know, the ordinary day.
Similar to training kind of thing.
Yeah.
So. Excellent. All right, next question is Uska Kaljelj from Nova Gorica. There you go. What was more memorable for you, the world or the European title? That's a good question, but
what do you think?
I'm thinking the world. I mean, coming from Canada, we don't. I mean, most of the world doesn't really care about the European title. No offense to Europe, but you know, I mean, the world is obviously a bigger deal.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe she asked that because I missed European title for like 5 years in a row.
Yeah.
I was twice second, twice fourth, and one time fifth. And I really wanted that title, you know, to put it under my hat. And now it's mine. But for sure, world title, it's like, I don't know. I really wanted it. Yeah. First of all, I want to beat my dad at his best result at the Worlds. He was 5th in 77 in Spital in Austria, and I just couldn't do better. So I was really happy for that title, and now the only thing that's missing in my collection is the Olympic title. So watch out everybody for the next year.
Yeah, it's a year and a half away, London. I see Flex is there so everybody can see his muscles. That's actually an awesome question, though, leading into the Olympics coming up in London. I mean, you had a home World Championships in Totson. Britain is now getting ready for home Olympics. Yeah. How does that differ for you, being a home World Championships versus an Olympic event? Is that sort of similar, the two levels of competition versus home versus away, all those kinds of things?
Well, Olympics are a totally different story, you know. It's a race by itself. But I don't know, maybe the British guys will be more motivated because it's their home race, even though the course was built this year. So the advantage won't be so big, or it will be, but you know, it doesn't matter at the end. You see what happens. What happened in Beijing? None of the Chinese had a medal, even though they were training there for 2 years straight. But
could be argued, though, the Brits are a little bit better than the Chinese in your sport, a little more experience. But like you said, I mean, Totson's different because you've been training there your whole life.
Yeah, but still I didn't win, you know.
Yeah.
So.
But you performed well.
Yeah. You know, at the end, it doesn't matter on which course you're paddling. Top athletes can adapt to any course. Yeah. So basically, it doesn't matter just if it's your day or not.
I can understand that for sure. So let's go another question for Hashimoto Tamaki from Japan. What do you think a good idea to make canoe slalom more exciting? So, and this is also for, I mean, this is a huge question in sport, for every sport, because there's so much competition for the popularity out there. So everybody wants to get viewership. I mean, for sure. What are your thoughts on making canoe slalom more appealing to everybody, not just paddlers?
I think our sport is exciting by itself, just that we don't take that advantage from our side. You know, we don't have a lot of races. There should be more World Cup races for sure. 3 or, well, this year 4 and next year 5. That's not as many as they could. Also, like TV broadcast all the races, all the major races. You know, not just the finals, but the semifinals, so you can see the fights, who improves to the final, and if you do that, then you get more sponsors, everything, you know, so the sport rises up. Because I think it's like one of the few sports who you can see the whole course, and it's not so long, so it's not boring, you know, like if you watch rowing but I like the sport, but if you watch like or marathon, you know, you can't watch the whole thing, you know, and here it's like 90 seconds and that's it, you know.
Well, and it can be argued that in the Summer Olympics, you guys are the only extreme sport, really. You guys have a quasi X Games mentality in the sport, but you're kind of stuck in between the X Games and the Olympics. And how do you feel about the extremeness of your sport, but also the mainstream side of your sport?
I think that's the question you should put to the ICF.
Yeah,
but
good point. Good point.
Because I can't change anything, you know, because it's not my call. But yeah, like you said, you know, it's I think the most extreme sport at the Olympics, at Summer Olympics. So they should make it more interesting for the viewers, you know, not to change the rules, because, like I said, it's the sport is interesting by itself for the viewers, and that's it, you know. Just make it like popular, you know, get a manager or I don't know what.
Yeah. I'll ask one more question from these guys. So Ben Marriott from Australia, we're here in Penrith, so it's appropriate to ask, what do you think of Penrith, and how do you enjoy your time here?
I enjoy it really a lot, and that's why I came here, because I like the course, I like the area, I like the people here, because they are like really easygoing, and so I don't know, I will come here for many years if I can. So, and it's good for us Europeans, because now we have snow back home and it's minus 10 degrees and it's better to be here. So
as a Canadian, I can relate, just coming from the snow. So finally, I'll talk about the next interview coming up live will be David Ford. He's obviously somebody who was around in the sport a long time before you.
Respect for him.
So I'll have you introduce our next athlete, David Ford, and get your opinions on him.
He should retire. He should retire. No, I'm just kidding. No. No, he's a legend in our sport, and I respect him with my full heart. And one similar thing with me and him, we both became world champions on the same course 10 years later. So, yeah.
And that course was Canoe in Spain.
Yeah, in Spain. So. For you, Mr. David.
Well, thank you very much, Peter Kauzer, for joining us and for chatting and sharing with the world and introducing yourself, getting a bit of an insight into your thoughts. And up next, we'll have David Ford here in Penrith, Australia.